The scientific papers are really clear in this point. In order to be interesting, you have to be interested towards the other person. There's no doubt about it. In order to make a real influence towards the other person, you just have to put them and shift your attention from yourself towards them. So there is something I used to call the shift attention method. If we make a conscious decision to give the other person your undivided attention, that is when you are in a good place to actually make an influence. And as I mentioned before, by being a macho, by being good looking, by being cool, by saying interesting things, will not affect so much attraction within women, neuroscientifically. We have seen that over and over again. But we saw that when they are talking about what they think about things to someone who can really listen, someone who can relate back, someone who can paraphrase, summarize, who can mirror, label her feelings, that is when we're doing a real influence to women. And we can see that by all those scientific research on the brain in terms of neurotransmitters. In order to feel attraction, we need dopamine, we need endorphins, we need serotonin, we even need oxytocin to really have that bonding feeling. And we achieve that by making them talk about what they think about things. And we can use empathetic tools to really make sure that they understand that we are listening to them. That is what I believe is the strongest way to actually influence people in general, and that general involves women as well.
He's absolutely right. I want to add one more thing, and then just one more thing. In order to do this, you also have to avoid as best you can fact-based conversations. I would never ask a woman, what do you like to do for fun? Because it's just going to generate a one-word or two-word answer. Instead, I would ask a question that evokes the imagination, requires her to really think about her desires. I would ask, when you want to do something that makes you feel totally alive, gets your heart beating hard and time flies by, what do you love to do? Or what's something you've always dreamed of doing but haven't let yourself dare? And then I shut up. And that evokes a much deeper response, an emotional response and a response from the imagination, even a response from her fantasies. So the other point I would add to genuine curiosity and being quiet in the mind is learn to steer clear of fact-based conversations or keep them to the very minimum. But I want you on my podcast. So I don't know, Ice, can you connect us?
Yeah, young human Michael Lee. I'll get that arranged.
The silk method. Okay, Ross, you're absolutely right. But the thing is, in order to be able to have that influential conversations, we need to be able to listen. So as you said, if she says something like, if you ask her, oh, what do you think about this place? And she would basically answer with just one word, as you mentioned, I think it's nice. Okay. You only have one keyword to work with, is nice. One of the best things that you can do here is to relate to yourself very shortly. Oh, I think this place is nice too. I mean, look at the architecture, look at the bars. I just love it. And now, but I'm curious, when you say nice, what comes to your mind? When you say nice, what does that mean exactly? Can you help me to understand what you mean with nice? Bam, we're getting into depth. That is what you're talking about as well. And also when it comes to the imaginary thought, it's very, very good to use an imaginary question, so to speak. So yeah, but if you could change something in this place to make it your dream place, what would that be? And dead quiet. That is what we call empathetic artificial pause. We have to pause completely and just embrace that tension to make her think. And whatever comes from her mouth after that, bam, we got that connection. We got those neurotransmitters and so on going on. But it's not until we get into that depth that we're actually influencing.
I just want to recommend a book by my niece, Vanessa Van Edwards, called Contagious. No clues. One is called Cues and one is called Contagious. Contagious is the one that talks about being interesting by being interested. Vanessa's a genius and puts me to shame. And I don't mind plugging her everywhere I can.